Well, another day out here. Another day out here. Another day. Beautiful tropics. Peace, God. Peace to the God. Peace to myself. My reflection. Talking to myself at all times. Playing this subjective and objective game. I kind of want to show off where I'm at a little bit in Pasto Viejo. It's beautiful here. Show all the fruit trees. Healthy environment. Healthy mind. You know. Balanced. Secure mind. We cut these bananas out the other day. See right there. All the bananas are at the house ripening up a little bit. This right here needs some work. There's also some more bananas. Whoa. Also some more bananas right there. See that? And this big tree. Let me walk around a little bit. Let's walk around a little bit while I wait on my supervisor, so to speak, / landlord. Walk around in this little rainforest / jungle type area. See this? Oh wow, I didn't know there was a little walkway right there. A lot of papayas fruiting up here. Papayas right there, real big. Oh wow, I didn't realize that there was a brick wall right here. I don't know if y'all can see it on the camera. There's a brick wall right here going all the way around this papaya tree. I think that's brick. Yeah, it's brick. Right here. For this papaya. They're huge. It's a lot of, what are these called? Yeah, there's a lot of papayas right here. Look how big these things are. There's my hand. Papayas right here. Oh yeah, I see the wall now. Okay, that's kind of far. So a wall right here. And that's how we get to these banana trees. Okay. Out here the roosters. Look at these mango trees back here. I gotta show the fruit trees off now. Gotta show my environment off. Let y'all know what's going on, what's growing on, you know. As James Prigioni would say. See how the mangoes up here. So this yard right here is very interesting. They got roosters, hens, and geese back there in them cages. There's 2 mango trees right here. You got the one big one right here, and another one right here. Oh, focus, there we go. Another one right here. So this tree, y'all hear them geese? This tree right here is a star fruit tree. Star fruit, here is called estrella. That's a star fruit, right? Like I said, you see the mangoes up there. I'm probably gonna go to the roof, show you how many mangoes are just sitting on the roof. That right there is an orange tree. These are sour sops or guanabana. Y'all hear them geese? That's geese. Those right there, you zoom in on them. These are called hobo, J-O-B-O, hobo. We also zoom in on the mangoes. See how much they're flowering? See the mangoes on the tree? Right? Some of those are ripe too. I know I see some ripe on the tree. Oh, I know y'all won't be able to see that one because it's shaded under there. Anyway, right here, let's zoom in over here real quick. See if I can get it on camera. Right there, there it is, you see it. More bananas. And next to that, we got some more plantains. So you got plantains, bananas right there. See that? I think this is called tropical almond. This big tree. All right, now down here, I think those are also papayas. But down here, if you can see, there's a lot of cassava right there, right there, right there, right there. It's just cassava everywhere. Focus. I know you got my hand. My hand look good, I know. Focus. A lot of cassava. Cassava. Should be some over here too. It's planted all around here. Yep. Cassava. So this entire yard is full of fruit trees. I love vibrating over here, showing how healthy my mind is. Let's go to the top. Oh, I didn't know they had those types of mangoes. Look at this. Over here, they have a different variety of mango. See, with mangoes, if the flowers are red, then the mangoes are going to be red. If the flowers are yellow, then the mangoes are going to be yellow. But yeah, let's go back over here. See that? These are the red ones. They actually look like reddish. They look purplish red because they're kind of purple. All right. There we go. Huge tree. And this whole area over here is kind of surrounded in fruit trees. Anyway, I do have a video topic I want to talk about, and I will be. Let me go upstairs. We're working on this house. I'll show y'all the view from up top. So look at this. Oh, okay, here you go. See on top of this house? Mangoes, 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 mangoes. These are the real good ones, the sweet ones. Oh no, not the ants. But yeah, these are the really, really good ones right here. They're really sweet, they're round, they're like heart-shaped. Really good ones. But notice the environment around me. There's a hill up there, and it's just green. This right here is a breadfruit tree. Pana. Any breadfruit on there? I don't see any. It's a breadfruit tree. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Dang, I just realized how big this yard is. And I just spotted those right there. Yeah, that yard right here is really big. I didn't realize that. Bananas and plantain. So yeah. Mountains up there. See the mountains in the background. It's just beautiful. Let's walk through here. The view from up top. Back there. More mango trees. Look at how beautiful it is in Puerto Rico. There's a coconut tree right here, directly in front. And the neighbor over there has a coconut tree. There's the house we're building up on. Let's see. Oh, there's a park across the street. Yeah, all this is gonna be built in. Of course, we're gonna put concrete on this. Anyway, park across the street. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. My environment is beautiful. My mind is beautiful. This vibration, this frequency, it's very green. My mind is fertile. I'm a quick learner. I'm a fast learner. I'm very coachable. I'm a great follower and a great leader. That's how I'm able to see environments like this in my eyeballs. I'm projecting it. It's my mirror. It's a reflection of me. That's how I'm able to be here and stay here. And go to environments that look like this. It's a reflection of me. You know? Now, I want to sit this camera down. However, I don't know don't know. Listen to that dog. I don't know where I'm gonna sit. I'll find a place for it. I don't know if I'm gonna be directly in the camera view, if my head's gonna be cut off. We'll figure it out. It'll be all right. Let's see. Where do I want to sit it down? Because I want to show my face on here and talk instead of just showing the environment. I guess we can sit it about right here. I think y'all can see it. Can I sit it up higher? Let me see. I really think this is a good spot because y'all can see. So let me see. See if I can get lucky. All right. So check it out. I noticed. You know what? Straight up, I kind of want to do this in. I kind of want to do this in a different video. But so I noticed. Oops, excuse me. I'm gonna edit some of this out anyway. So I noticed this pattern, right? And it's with women, especially women that are insecure. It's always unhealthy it's not only is it unhealthy, it's toxic as fuck to try to, to try to test your partner to see how he is or how she is, to play mind games with him. See, if you're in a relationship with somebody, and you don't know if they're serious about you, it's actually not wise to try to test them. The best thing to do is to trust your partner. Just trust them. They're gonna show you what they need to show you. You're gonna learn what you need to learn. The absolute best thing to do is just trust your partner. Just trust them. I've been in all kinds of relationships myself, and I just took this personality quiz. And in the personality quiz, it basically told me that I have a very secure personality. I'm not an insecure person. So I'm open. I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to communicate. I'm willing to communicate even about the tough things, so to speak. Now, if you had to be in a relationship with somebody, right? You're in a relationship with them, and you're not sure if they want you, and you start testing them. At a certain point, you're testing a person to see if they're going to stay with you no matter what. For example, being rude on purpose, ignoring them on purpose, being obnoxious, just to see if they would stick around and stay around. At a certain point, what you're doing is actually mentally and emotionally abusive. So of course, once you start testing your partner to see if they're going to be with you by being abusive, you're engaging in a pattern called self-sabotage. So what that means is you could have a partner or a person in your life, and they're really good to you. They're really great to you. They're doing what they can to make you happy as possible, which is part of the reason why you're in a relationship, to be selfless instead of selfish, to cater more towards your partner's emotions, a little bit more towards your partner's emotions in a relationship, so that both of you can thrive and be happy, instead of only being a hedonist and only being focused with your own happiness. You should be willing in a relationship to make sacrifices. You have to be willing in a relationship to give certain things up to get other things to in return, to not necessarily to place an obligation on anyone, but we have to be willing. You got to be willing to make sacrifices in a relationship. You also have to be willing to make sacrifices to get the things that you want in life. Playing around with people's emotions because you don't know if you can trust them, it's abuse, yo. It's mental abuse, it's emotional abuse. And if you're using your words too, just being rude just to see if they'll stick around, just to see if they'll stay with you no matter what, that's still abuse. Then it becomes verbally abusive if you're using your words to do it. Here's the thing. I usually don't see or hear or experience men engaging in that pattern. Usually it's women engaging in that pattern of, man, yeah, I used to do this and I used to do that to him and I did this and I did that just to see if he would stick around. That shit's stupid as fuck, okay? That shit dumb as fuck, because all you're doing is self-sabotaging yourself and setting yourself up to lose someone who could potentially be a really good partner, who could potentially be a really good fit for you. Terrible habit, terrible habit. I don't know if your mama taught you that or your daddy taught you that or whoever, your cousin, your auntie, whoever. That is a horrible pattern to engage in, to try to test somebody out, to be abusive, whether or not it's physical, because it could be physical, verbal, mental, emotional. To be abusive and to see if they're willing to stick around and deal with your shit is horrible. What that does is says that you're not trying to improve who you are. You just want people to accept you no matter what low standards you have. If you want a healthy and successful relationship, you really need to have high standards at all times. You can't just desire things, and then when you get into a relationship, you want your partner to settle for less, or you want yourself to settle for less. You're never going to have a successful relationship with yourself, nor are you going to be happy with yourself or your partner, nor will you ever be happy. In your life, you need to be willing to be the best version of yourself, so that once you do get a partner and you're the best version of yourself, all that's going to do is help your partner as well. You're already helping yourself. It's going to help the relationship, and thus you end up helping your partner and you thrive. So your goal isn't, ladies, your goal isn't to try to see what he's going to do or try to see what kind of bullshit you can throw at him, and see. That's not your goal. That's self-sabotage. You're just hurting yourself, because now you're giving him memories and thoughts of all these unhealthy things that you've done that he didn't even fucking need. He didn't even need them. You didn't trust yourself. You was insecure, so you decided to try to test the man you was with. That's horrible. That's horrible. That ain't gonna get you nowhere. Because as soon as somebody else come along that's not doing that same stuff to him, of course he's gonna pick this other female or this other woman or this other person over you, because you intentionally aren't treating him right just to see if he stick around. That's crazy. I don't know why y'all women do that, but that's crazy. You ain't doing nothing but setting yourself up for failure, yo. Every single time. Some women brag about, like, my man can't handle me and he can't handle this and he can't handle that. It's not that he can't handle you, ladies. It's you can't handle your motherfucking self. Okay? You the one lacking self-control. So when a partner get with you, you want them to try to control you more than you control yourself, because you lack self-control. That's horrible. That's horrible. No man, unless he done went through all kinds of trauma and abuses, whatever. No man wants to deal with a woman who lacks virtue. The most desirable woman in life is, and I quote, the virtuous woman. The virtuous woman is the most desirable woman in life. It ain't the richest. It ain't the most beautiful. It ain't the best, having the best sex. It ain't any of that stuff. The most desirable woman in life. Let me make sure I get some greenery in my background as I say this again. The most desirable woman in life is, in fact, the virtuous woman. What virtue is having a high standard or quality of moral excellence, meaning the woman is going to do her best to be her best. She's going to be virtuous, and she's going to do the right thing when no one's looking. She's going to have integrity. She's going to do what she can to be her greatest version. That is the most desirable woman on earth. She doesn't have to be the most beautiful. She doesn't have to have the greatest body. She doesn't have to have any of that stuff. All she has to have is virtue. That's it. That's literally all you need. If you're a lady, if you're a woman, excuse me. The same thing with men. Virtue is something that all men should have. It's something that all people should have because it's the highest moral standard. You see? So if you are a woman and you find yourself struggling to be virtuous, you need to ask yourself if what you're doing in your life is something that's desirable. If you're doing patterns and expressing behavior towards your partners, your friends, your family, whoever, that's undesirable, you cannot expect that person to want to be with you. You can't. Okay? You need to be doing things. I know that some women, some of y'all don't think about what you do that turns a man off. You so focused on, some of y'all have insecurities and traumas to the point to where y'all are so focused on the pleasure, you're not thinking about what you're doing that would possibly turn your man off. You're not thinking about what you're doing that would make your man want to not be with you. You just want him to accept you, and no matter what. You know, that dark feminine bullshit and all the other what word do I want to give it? I heard the dark feminine. That's just unreasonable, illogical. I've heard a whole lot of stuff, man. Women not being accountable. That's another thing. If you virtuous, you're gonna be accountable. Nobody has to tell you what you're doing wrong. You just know, and you can acknowledge it without someone having to correct you. A virtuous woman doesn't need to be corrected. She's self-correcting. Okay? Notice what I said. The virtuous woman, the woman who has virtue, does not need someone outside of her physical body to tell her that she's doing wrong, or that she's hurt somebody's feelings, or that she needs to do better. The virtuous woman doesn't need all of that stuff because she's self-correcting. She already has a moral standard. She already knows when she needs to do better, what she needs to do better. She doesn't need a coach. She doesn't need a guide. She's just already the way that she is. Now, I will say, in my opinion, actually, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't think that a person should be, I don't think that a woman or a man should be taught virtue. I think it's something that's just in people. Like, it's just in them. Like, it's like nobody should tell you, in my opinion, nobody should have to tell you to do the right thing. You should just be doing it because you have virtue. But maybe it is possible to teach a person virtue without pain and without suffering. Maybe it's possible that people only learn virtue through pain and through suffering. Maybe it's possible. I'm not sure, but I know that without virtue, any relationship that a person engages in is going to struggle. It's going to falter. Women, y'all be having a lot of work, man. Some of y'all be needing a lot of work because y'all just refuse to just do what's right. Like, if a man, you know that a man's already going to be attracted to you, already going to want to be with you simply off of attraction alone. So all you got to do is have all the other stuff. Just have good character. Like, it's really not hard to ask. Like, just be a good person. Don't play any games. Be authentic. Be genuine. Be serious. Stop playing around. Like, there's men that aren't gonna just engage in a relationship just for fucking fun. They're looking for something serious. And if you're sitting there playing mind games and you're not sure that the guy wants to be with you, then you can expect failure. You can expect the man to not want to be with you because you're doing all kinds of bullshit that he doesn't like. Regardless of if you want the truth, regardless if you don't want the truth, regardless of if you just want somebody to fuck, regardless of if you just want a relationship, whatever. If you're not taking a relationship seriously and you have insecurities about whether or not you're going to put your all into it, it's gonna fail. Like, think about it. I said this yesterday. Me and Kaj were watching MasterChef. And I said, you can always tell who's going to be a master chef because they don't lack confidence. Like, in order to be a master of anything, you have to have confidence. You're not gonna have all this fear. Your confidence. When, like, let's say you wind up making a mistake. Yeah, that person may be hard on themselves. However, they're gonna be hard on themselves because they expect to excel at what they're doing. They're gonna be confident instead of nervous. They're not gonna have too many backup plans. Well, just in case this happens, I'm gonna do this. And just in case this happens, I'm gonna do that. That's not confidence. So of course, that type of person won't be a master chef. Of course, that type of person won't be a master. Of course, that person is gonna struggle with success because they're too focused on what could go wrong. You see, women, you see, ladies, if you get into a relationship, men too, of course, if you get into a relationship, the best thing to do to get the best results is to give it your all and put everything into it. Put all your eggs in one basket. That's how you're gonna get the greatest chance of success every time. You see, you got to, regardless of if you've been hurt in the past and all the other stuff. More than likely, if you've been hurt in the past by some guy or some girl, it's because you wasn't putting all your effort into it. You weren't giving it everything you had because you needed a backup plan, or you had a side woman, or you had a side man, or you didn't know if you was going to be in a relationship forever. You have all these insecurities, so of course you can't put forth as much effort as you could. You see, you couldn't, you know. And that's what I see in relationships. Sometimes the relationships fail because the people aren't putting forth all of their effort. They only half-assing it. I was taught when I was really young. I think I was like 17, really young. I was like 17, so it was like 20 years ago. When I was like 16, 17, 18, I was taught by someone who said, in a relationship isn't 50-50. And keep in mind, he was telling me what he was taught. He said a relationship is never 50-50. Because if one person is giving 50% and the other person is giving 50%, they're both half-assing it. So they're only giving half of what they got. He said a relationship is 110 and 110. You give all you got plus more. That's what a relationship is. You put your all into it so that you can be sure, so that you can be happy, so that you can increase your chances of success in the relationship. The last thing you want to do is give 50%. Now you may be thinking, well, 50%, if you're in a relationship, if one person gives 50 and the other person gives 50, that equals 100. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. If you got two batteries, if you need two batteries for a remote control, one battery is at 50% and the other battery is at 50%, you're not at full power. It's going to run out of power a whole lot faster than the two batteries that are at 100%. If you have a generator and you got two power sources, one of the power sources is at 50% and the other one is at 50%, you're only going to be half power. For two batteries, you're going to have half of the power. But if it's at 100%, of course, think about it. You're going to have full power. You see? And I've been in relationships, and I've been in relationships and seen relationships to where the person's only giving, they're only half-assing it. So of course their relationship keeps suffering and keeps failing and keeps suffering and keeps failing because they're half-assing it. They got all kinds of backup plans. They got one foot in the door, one foot out the door. So of course their relationship isn't going to be successful. Of course. You see, you got to be willing, yo. There's been times in my current relationship where my partner wasn't giving it her all. She got one. Well, she didn't know what this was gonna happen. She didn't know what that was gonna happen. So she had all this fear and insecurity. So of course, she couldn't take the relationship seriously. We were destined for failure. So we had to break up and get back together. Break up, get back together. Not because I was unsure, because my partner was unsure. And I've been like that too, though. I will say, well, you know what? Now that I think of it, I haven't been like that. Maybe once in my life, maybe. I was unsure about a relationship, so I chose not to commit to it. But I think, not to change the subject too much, I think that women have more commitment issues than men. I don't think a man has issues committing, and I think it's really the women, especially if the women want a superficial relationship. You know, that's what I think. I should say in my experience, but I also think that as well. That women just aren't aren't as secure with themselves and aren't as profound in their thoughts and their movements and their actions than men are. I think women are more aesthetics based, and they're saying women use their like, I want you to care about my emotions. However, their actions show that they more so concerned with looks. The general consensus, just I look like this, I have that, acquisition. Instead of, hey, focus on the feeling. If you doing what's right in your relationship, if you being virtuous in your relationship, then your feelings are always going to be on point. If you always putting forth your highest amount of effort in a relationship, then your feelings are always going to be great, and your actions are always going to follow how good you feel from what you did. You could put all you could put your all into a relationship, and then the person could, if the relationship didn't work out and y'all broke up, you ain't gonna feel bad. You gonna be like, well, shit, it's his loss. If you're a woman, you're gonna be like, it's his loss that he was with me. He lost something good when he was with me, so I'm just gonna move on to something better anyway. Cause he lost something good. I put my all into it. I ain't got no regrets. I did this, I did that. You see? That's what happens when you're being a virtuous woman. The title of this video, of course, is gonna be The Virtuous Woman. The most desirable female is the virtuous woman. That's what the title of this is gonna be. And I'm putting this part in the video too. I'm gonna say it again. The most desirable woman is the virtuous woman. See, the virtuous woman, by the way, isn't gonna be as judgmental. The virtuous woman is gonna accept people, accept the man, accept the woman for how they think. I ain't saying they're gonna tolerate all the bullshit, but they're gonna accept the way the person likes to live their life and just leave it at that, you know? They're not gonna try to change them. It's just gonna be like, hey, if this is how you live your life, that's what you like, go ahead and go for it, you know? The virtuous woman, when she's in a situation, instead of just, like, let's say something makes her frustrated, instead of just cussing and yelling and screaming, she's gonna be like, she's gonna have a healthy perspective. She's gonna be like, all right, what do I need to do to figure this out because I'm struggling? She don't have to do all that yelling and screaming and cussing and being disrespectful. Something ain't going her way. The virtuous woman is gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna respond in the best way as possible. Having virtue is about having a great response. Respond in the best way you can. And the same thing, of course, goes for men. Having a man that has virtue is going to do what he can to control his responses and his actions. That doesn't mean that he should just tolerate any kind of bullshit now. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that he should just put up with whatever, because at a certain point, if he's just putting up with whatever, whether it's a male doing it to him or a female doing it to him, just dealing with whatever kind of disrespect, then at that point, he's not necessarily a victim because he's putting himself in that situation. You see, if you see a person that has virtue, it's not wise to try to test them to see if they're being serious or not. That's being toxic. That's being healthy. That's being unhealthy. That's being abusive. You see, if you got virtue and you're in an unhealthy relationship, the best thing to do is just to leave it or get out of it, because all they're going to do is try to bring you down. You know, that's the best thing to do. As I said to someone before, if you're not showing me love, I'm going to go show myself love, because you can't do it. If you can't give me the love that I need, I'm going to go somewhere else and show myself the love. I'm going to get away from you because you're not showing me the love I need. You see? That's it. That don't mean just cater to my emotions. That doesn't mean that. That means, hey, just respect me. Just give me simple respect. Be virtuous. You know? And if you're not going to do it, I'm certainly going to do it to myself and for myself. I've had to do that before. I was with someone who wasn't showing me the respect that I deserved, and I was putting forth my all. And I actually told her, I said, look, and I told her and the other people around, I said, if you're not going to show me the love I need, then I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm just going to leave. I'm not finna sit here and tolerate the bullshit. I'm not finna put up with anything and everything that you're willing to dish out to me. What is the word? There's a certain word I'm looking for. I'm not your emotional pincushion, nor should anybody else be. I don't want to use the word victim, because it kind of is a victim type thing when somebody's attacking. But it's like, what is the word, man? What is the word? I'm gonna think of it later, man. But yeah, Oh, I mean, it's essentially agreeing to be abused. That's the word, one of the words. If you got a lot of virtue, or you practicing being virtuous, and somebody doesn't respect your level of virtue, then you're gonna put yourself in an abusive relationship. Okay? And you don't need that, of course. You don't need that. It's not good for your mind, it's not good for your health, it's not good for your safety. You don't need that. Shout out to the goose in the background. You don't need that, man. Ain't no reason to test a person's virtue. Ain't no reason to test to see if a person's really as polite as they say they are, or put them through some kind of gauntlet of shit. Like, you're not even in a position to teach them. That's ridiculous. If you respect somebody and you think they have virtue, the best thing to do is to match the virtue, not to sit there and try to test if they actually have it. That's disrespectful as fuck. You see? As I've said before, and I'm gonna say it again, no one can hold me to a standard. Say it with me. No one can hold me up to a standard that they themselves are not trying to achieve. If and or when that happens, somebody tries to hold you up to a standard that they themselves are not trying to achieve, then you're going to be in an abusive relationship. In an abusive relationship. If they're trying to hold you up to a certain standard and test you out to see if you really are who you say you are. Those are abusers. They're going to be single. Nobody's going to want to be with them. Nobody. I've seen it many times. Okay? I've seen abusers do what they can to test me to see if I actually did have the virtue. And of course, now they're single, even when they were in a relationship. Now they're single because they lack virtue. Because they lack trust. They can't trust anybody else because they can't be trusted. You see? So that's why you need virtue, yo. So in recap, it's a good video, long video. It's real green. The most desirable woman in life is the virtuous woman. I love myself and I'm grateful.